stuff that's we have there, and things we've kept hang on to, new things. I'm guilty of it myself, and we're always trying to figure out, where do I put all this stuff, right? Or I say, hey, where do I put all this crap, right? So, and it's just kind of how how you organize everything, right? And so the way my company can help is that we do what we call glide out shelving. And we go in, we take a look at your space, anything that has a cabinet, and we look at it to see how can we maximize that space to be able to allow you to store the things you already have, right?
Now, go ahead.
Yeah, no, so we do that part of it, and without you having to give up anything, right? Because that's also very challenging to be able to throw things out. And so we find ways, how do we maximize that space vertically, horizontally, so you can fit all those exact things in there and maybe a little bit more.
Now, you come with a special package about yourself. First of all, you have a long career in organization.
I do.
I want to talk about that for a minute because, listen, this is what really makes you different about this all right here, is that you come in and will give them a consultation for free.
Yes.
But with that, you're getting your ideas.
Yes, so I am actually a self-taught organizer because I'm one of those guilty people that has a lot of stuff. Previous career of living all over the country, multiple homes, and then now downsizing, as a lot of people have, and change of career. How do I get all these things from these different places? Even though I have quote unquote purged, I still have a lot of stuff. So I have always been that person. How do I organize to get the maximum amount of things in a certain particular cabinet where people can't see them, right? I like them to be behind the door. And so when I come in, I could certainly just come in and give you exactly what you want or what you think you want, but I really care about what's going, because I can relate to everybody, everyone home that I walk into, I can relate to it because I've been there, done that, and I really take time to show them and give them ideas on how you can organize your space better and be a little bit more organized.
Now, when you have shelves that, like the ones that are that you can't even, you've got stuff back there, but you can't even reach it. You don't even know what's back there. There's cobwebs back there now because you've never touched it. And you actually, when you move, and you start to down, you kind of pull it out and you're like, oh my God, I didn't even know I had this, or I forgot I had this, right? So it's wonderful because you actually can explain to them how you can make that cabinet work for them, the ones that you would never think that you could put a gliding shelf in.
Yes, and those are the unique corners, what we call a blind corner, right? There are some solutions that are out there, but it's gotta be specific measurements in order for it to work. Now you go in the back, it pulls it out inside. We actually can go in and work with the way that it's laid out existing. And we call it a blind corner solution, and we're the only ones that do this in the country. And we're able to provide ways that all those things that are shoved in the back, and I've been in homes where people don't even know what's back there anymore,
I'm
right?
telling you.
They're like, we just use this right here because we can't even see back there. And some of them are really deep. But we're able to provide a solution where we're able to give them access to those things that are hidden in the back, to the left or to the right, where they're able to get access to it. And we recommend you put things that you don't use very often, like the things you use a few times a year. Store that back there. That frees up space in other places of your home for you to put the things out that you can use on a day-to-day basis.
Now, when you work with people, are you valley-wide?
We are valley-wide.
You're valley-wide,
yes.
And you specialize in glides that that slide.
Yes.
Shelves that slide is how you say that. But do you do? We can think about it as the kitchen, right? The pantry. Mm-hmm. Where else?
Bathrooms. Hall closets that we have turned into pantries, because sometimes, and I'm guilty, this has happened to me too, you have this extra closet in your home, right? And you got stuff in there, but you really could use it for all the extra things you're buying, like water, and you're stocking up, because we're all stocking up, right? Because, with everything's going on, we all have stuff we're stocking up on. Yeah, so snacks, water, all the good stuff, but so we've taken what, our traditional linen closets or coat closets, and we have turned them into pantries. And
it's a great idea.
Yeah, and that allows folks to be able to, maybe you got stuff in the garage or stacked up in the kitchen somewhere.
My relish is going to be wonderful.
Yeah, well, there you go. So, so we can, anything that is a cabinet type thing, we can create something that will give you some usable space.
How about offices?
We can do offices.
Okay, so
we can
there's
do
almost
armoires.
any-
Yeah, anything.
So in other words,
Yes.
so let's say you have, that's unbelievable. You've never said that before.
I know.
So armoires, let me tell you about that. So, okay, I have 7 sets of dishes, right?
Mhm.
So you could actually help me organize those so that
Yes.
in my armoire, that's an old piece that I
Yes.
have. You're kidding me.
Yes, I just did mine, and I didn't want to say it before because I wanted to see how it worked.
How'd it
right?
work?
It actually worked wonderfully. So I have I hide a lot of things back there, right? Things that are in my bedroom. But I also have one in my dining room area, which, and I've got part glass on there as well. So you can hide some of those other things you don't want people to see, and then they can see the pretty dishes or whatever that looks like.
Right.
But I was able to put some drawers, extra storage in there, so I can store some other things in there as well. So it actually turned out wonderfully.
Now, you do a special right now for the 50% off installation.
Yes.
That's awesome, you guys,
Yes.
because you're saving a lot of money right
Yes,
there.
yes.
Now, you're valley-wide. Your phone number to call, it's 480-591-7290. What website are you using now?
So we are still at shelfgenie.com.
So we're at that? Okay,
Yep.
so it's shelfgenie.com. The number is 480-591-7290. I want you to call and just have her come and look at your armoire and have her check it out and see what she can do to make that so that you can put all your stuff in, that you got
Yes.
stuffed in there. Closets, can you do closets
We can
as well?
do closets as well, yes.
It's the time of year that we're
Yeah.
all thinking about getting organized, and
Mhm.
whether it's your office, whether it's your armoire, whether it's your kitchen or your bathroom, they can help you become that. And one of the things that we talked about one time when you were here
Yeah.
was about people who are disabled and
Yes.
how wonderful this is for them. There's a lot of old folks that listen to us. There's a lot of children with old folks that also listen to us too. That
Yeah.
you ought to listen about this and maybe help them out. Have her come in and do a
Yes.
free consultation for them so that they can help. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, it's all about accessibility, right? Being able to make it easier for you to access the things that you use on a day-to-day basis, right? So no one wants to get on a step stool or try to figure out how to grab things, and sometimes that can be a little bit dangerous. So we also try to provide ease and accessibility of things, right? When they pull all the way out, extend past, a little past the cabinet opening, you truly can see everything that was in that cabinet without having to get on your knees, get down and grab in the back of the cabinet. We can help you with that.
I want to also talk about the quality of your work.
Yes.
It's unbelievable.
Yes, we number one, we start with very high quality materials, and we are 100% custom. So when we build a box, it is absolutely going to fit the cabinet that we're looking at. We try to minimize the gaps on the side so we can maximize all the space. And so very high quality. I have certified technicians that go out, installers that go out to install things. If there's extra work that's needed, we work with other people to kind of help us so that we can make sure that we have a very professional product. I have a very little type A, so I like things to look very nice and high quality, and so we absolutely try to do a quality job.
If you want the best, this is who you call. Her phone number is 480-591-7290. The website is shelfgenie.com. We're going to go to a break. When we come back, they are the only ones in the country
Yes.
that do these shelves that slide in the blind
corner solution, yes.
that blind corner solution, and we all have them. Check them
Yes.
out on her website. It's shelfgenie.com. Hang tight. We'll be back in just a minute.
Have you a brochure?
Do I what?
Have a brochure?
I do not have a brochure.
I can give you one of these.
But I
now.
can, if you
This
want to
one.
write down
You got a
your
pen?
address, I will send you one.
Okay.
I should have I didn't bring my
Do you have this stuff?
I did. I didn't bring my bag of goodies today.
Do you do financing?
We do financing.
Also talk about that.
And I'll mail you a brochure. We have one online, but it's easier to kind of see it through the
Let's
paper.
call it again. It's the blind what?
Blind corner solution.
tell me, please, go back on. Top shelf.
Yes,
Do you have something that pulls down?
we do.
Do you really?
Yeah, we do. So, yes.
Because I'm pretty tall, but I know my mom, she could never use the top two. You can look up there and you can see what's in the front row, and that's it.
Yeah.
But if they had something where it pulls down,
And those are usually typically over like the double ovens that are kind of higher, and then also the microwave. You have that one that's up there. So yeah, we as long as there's nothing in there that's obstructing, because sometimes over the microwave it's got all of that, whatever that piping is that goes outside, exhaust or whatever.
Right.
But sometimes they don't, or sometimes they're really deep and you still can put something in there where you can pull it down and it'll stay kind of exactly where you pull it. And when you're done with it, you push
how
it
does it
back
go?
up.
Now, I've seen the three-quarter lazy Susan that goes in that blind corner, but it still doesn't utilize it.
No, and
How
we
big
don't
is
do the
yours?
3/4. That's not even maximizing the space because
Yeah,
they're
We're gonna
attaching
talk
the
about
door.
that when we come back.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're that far away in some places.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we have full ones. Well, yeah, we got a lot.
So
of
to
different
pull out
ones.
comes.
Well, I'll show you. Well,
Okay.
it's in the brochure. It kind of so with that blind. Let's say it's vacant over here, right?
Uh-huh.
So we'll put a shelf on the top and the bottom because there's usually a half shelf there. So we'll put a full one on the top, one on the bottom. When you're ready to get something to access in that corner, you pull these forward. These other ones slide over. Then when you're done seeing what that look, whatever that is, you push it back. Then you push the other one in.
So in
I
other
know it's
words,
hard to conceptualize without seeing. I
It
should have
sounds to
brought my
me like
laptop.
you've got shelves that are back like that, and then shelves that are here.
Yes.
And so what you first pull out these shelves, and then you pull this one this way, and that way you can see the shelf,
Yes.
what's on that shelf.
Yeah.
And then you put it. We're going to talk. She's going to re-explain in just
Yes.
a minute.
I know it's hard to conceptualize until you see it.
Because I've seen the lazy Susan one, and that just really
Well, see,
doesn't.
that's a corner that goes like this.
Yeah.
Blind corners go like this.
Right.
They're like an L shape.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go.
Yeah.
So, why do I love my show is perfect example of course I love my show, but of exactly of what's happening right now. So Doc is here listening to the segment, and he said right off the bat, oh, I've seen those lazy Susans in those blind cabinets,
Yeah.
and you said.
So what I said was it was a 3/4 lazy Susan. So I said the first thing is we're not totally maximizing the space because you're only getting 3/4 instead of a full lazy Susan. That's number one. Number two, that's actually a different type of corner cabinet. It's the type that kind of goes, it starts a little narrow, then it widens as you go to each side, right? So blind corners are usually L-shaped, right? You can see the front part of it, but then you've either got a blind to the right or
I
to
got
the
two
left.
of them.
Yes. So that's a little bit different situation where we can actually put up to 4 different glide outs in there so that you can fully maximize the storage space that's in those cabinets.
That's amazing. So explain how you do that, because that was how it was interesting
Yes.
how he was trying to figure that out. Go ahead.
So in those L-shaped blind corner cabinets, you've got your cabinet where you're pulling forward, vertically, right? Those are the things you're using every single day. The things that are either on the right or the left are the things you never get to, right? So when you want to use that, we can put a shelf on, usually there's a half shelf that's in the back of there, right? And most of those cabinets have those half shelves. So you've got that back there. So what we do is we actually replace that half shelf with a full shelf and a glide out that is maximized to the depth and the width of that particular cabinet. So we put that in there on the top. We can put one on the bottom as well. So when you want to get access, let's just say your blind corner is to the right, right? So when you want to get access to that, let's say it's on the top. You take that top one, you pull it over, you slide it over to the left, then you get to see everything that's in the back of that cabinet, right? When you're done with that, you slide it back, and then you still have your things that you use every single day. So those are the things that will be stored in a long-term, maybe you use a couple of times a year, right? Some of your nice dishes that you use for holidays, or if you have family dinners or whatever, you're not using them every single day. So those are the things we recommend you put in the back of that corner.
They are the only ones in the country that do shelves that are for these these blind
mini
corner
corners, yes.
solutions for people out there, and they do financing. Let's talk a little bit about
We
that.
do. So as you can, we are custom, so we are not the cheapest in the valley, but we are very high quality. And sometimes, depending on the the how big the job is, it can get a little bit pricey. So we provide a lot of different options for payment, and one of those is financing. And we do have interest-free financing. We feature 12 months. We also have an 18 months, and we have longer term. If you want to do something that's longer term, it's completely up to you how you want to pay. We just give you options for that, right?
And right now, they're offering for everyone to have 50% off of installation,
Yes.
which right there saves you a ton of money.
Yeah.
The first thing to do is, I think, again, like we've been saying to everybody, pick up the phone and have
Yeah.
them come out and do a consultation
Right.
where you come out yourself, or you have your
My
people
team.
that come
Mhm.
out and actually do a consultation with you. But Janine is more of one person that what she loves to do is organize herself.
Yes.
So you're helping people come up with ideas. It's not just
Yeah.
coming in and measuring and giving
Right.
an estimate. It's way more than that.
Yeah, it is. And I mean, even if you don't end up buying from us, I mean, it's not, we want to make sure that people are being able to, organize and have ease of accessibility in their home. And so when we would hope you would, but we can give you ideas, because we're there to be we're a consultant, right? We take a look at your space. We take notes as you're sharing what your frustrations are. We take note to what is your main priority, right? And so we give you ideas on how you can organize things to make your life better.
Now, the phone number to call, it's 480-591-7290, and her website is shelfgenie.com.
Yes.
I want to also talk a little bit about when you say that you can do bathrooms and offices and
Mhm.
things like that. So, your bathroom might have a very sort of a taller cabinet underneath the
Yes.
sink, but of course the sink gets in the way.
Yeah.
Is it just the one shelf on the bottom that you pull out, or can you make it so that there are more shelves in there if you want to add more storage for yourself?
We can, and it depends on what's going on with all that, the sink, how far it comes down, and all the piping that goes along with that as well. So we do have some solutions where we call them risers, where we can attach them to, we can either put one big one on the bottom, or we can do two smaller ones side by side and attach risers either to the existing the box that's there. We can attach it to that so it pulls out as one single unit, or we can do two separate units where we attach it to the side of the cabinet and then you slide it out. We can put different height around there so that it gives some, if you have taller things, you don't want them to fall over when you pull it out, right? So we can put some protection that goes around three sides, and then you can still see the things that are in there, but when you pull it out, it's not going to tip over to the left or right when you're pulling that out.
And for you, when you talk about being your quality of not just the workmanship, but the kind of product that you use.
So the materials that we use we have a designer series that's the one that gives you color variations also. We try to match to what the cabinet looks like. But we use a very high quality maple. We also use Baltic birch, and there are others that use Baltic birch as well, but ours is the highest quality in each of the categories. We have one that's a hand selected, which is probably about 90% of our clients select that. It comes with a lifetime warranty. Then we also have one that's a little less than that, but still very high quality, grade C. That is also great. It comes with a 3-year warranty. So we actually bring samples out so everyone can see, touch, and feel exactly what they're going to be getting in terms of the quality. We also bring out samples that are attached to rails so they can see what the rails are like as well. That helps people to kind of see what they're going to be getting, for the estimates that we're out there.
And when they see that, do you also do a diagram for them at all?
We do. We do a 3D design of their kitchen or whatever their project looks like, so they can get a glimpse of what it will look like post-install, right? So they can visualize, because sometimes we talk about a lot of things. I mean, an hour and a half, usually about a 90-minute appointment, it goes quick. But we then leave them with, here are the things that we talked about. This cabinet will look like this post then, and so on and so on. So that helps them to be able to remember all of the things that we've discussed during our consultation.
It's wonderful to have, and most people when they do it, when they start, they might say, okay, well, I want to just start off with my pantry.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
But then how often do they do something else like right afterwards?
So either I come in for one thing, and pantry is a big one,
Yeah.
and then it expands into other things. Some people decide, you know what, let's just go ahead and knock it all out at one time.
Right.
Some, I've had a few people break it up in stages. And so, again, we're flexible because we understand, it can be, it's a little bit of an investment, but it also adds to the value of your home. You see a lot of homes going up right now. People are selling, they're buying, and all those different things. And so we do provide a lot of different options for that. And so oftentimes, you know, they only want 2 of them, like 2 pull out. Then can you look here? Can you look here? And the next thing you know, we're up to 8 or 10.
I have to say
That
this
happens
too.
a lot.
I think also too, for the people that are downsizing, that have gotten rid of some of those things,
Mhm.
maybe you've moved into a smaller home, but you don't have as much. So
Right.
maybe your pantry's going to have a lot of food just because everyone's
Right.
buying so much food right now too. But I love the idea of taking the linen closet, because now maybe you don't have as much linen anymore.
Yeah.
Maybe your kids don't live with you anymore. And now
Yeah.
there's not as much in there, but you can actually make it so that it's usable for other things.
Exactly.
I love that idea.
Yeah.
And even office right now, a lot of people they're working from home.
Yes, they
What are
are.
you doing for people that are working from home and needs to figure out how to organize everything now?
Yes, and so, you know, it depends if they've already had some office space, because just sometimes they have open shelves or whatever. But now you're needing some drawers to be able to store things, right? Because we're not going to the office. Some of us are not going to the office at all, and so you need some storage space that's in there. So we take a look to see what can we work with that's existing. If there are some additional things, we can give ideas on that as well. But just try to help people to get organized, and you don't want everything showing, right?
Do you do mostly residential, or do you both do commercial and residential?
Right now, we're focused on residential. Not saying we would not do commercial, but yes, we are focused primarily on the everyday consumer.
But right now, so many people
Yeah.
are at home, and we have so much
Yes.
right now. I know my dining room table has more stuff on it than I can possibly imagine.
Yes.
You know, all the stuff that we're buying, overbuying,
Yeah.
but now we need a place to put it, but we want to be organized, and this
Right.
is the perfect time. I'm so
Yes.
glad you came here. I know that that we were going to have that home show. It ended up not happening.
Yeah, they canceled the home show this year, so we're just trying to figure out what's going to happen moving forward. I mean, it's all, I don't know if we're going to have another home show. We did one in October, not as big a turnout as we've had in the past, but it was a great opportunity for me to showcase, because I actually have a 10 by 20 kitchen that I set up, and I stock it like a real kitchen, so people can walk in and see. You got to feel and see. They can visualize, like, oh wow, I didn't know I could do this in my kitchen. I have that in my kitchen, and this is a great idea.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping maybe March or so, that maybe March, May time frame, that we'll be able to do something again. That way you guys can really see what an entire kitchen looks like that's outfitted with Shelf Genie products.
So a lot of people are working differently now today.
Mhm.
Obviously, on your website, you have a lot of information there.
We do, and we also have updated our website because of the new environment too, that you can click on a certain cabinet and you can see what a solution would look like in there. So it's more interactive now than it was in the past. So definitely check that out, and if something interests you, which I'm sure it will, give us a call.
Now their phone number to call is 480-591-7290. Check them out on their website and just look at how these different solutions that they have for different areas in the house. Even your armoire, if you want, and she can make that a solution as well. It's shelfgenie.com. She is rated with the Better Business Bureau Valley-wide. They do free consultations, and right now they're offering for everybody for the 50% off installation, which is a great savings right there. There's financing, your choice as to how long or short that you want to take that. Again, that phone number to call. Let's all get organized and let's start this new year off right. That number to call is 480-591-7290. It's shelfgenie.com.